Oh yeah, Mariya, you're the resident Muslim.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about it?
Okay. So, you know Aladdin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in the original version of Prince Ali from the animated movie,
Mm-hmm.
the genie says, "Brush up your Sunday salam." Okay. But
Okay.
in the remake, Will Smith's genie says, "Brush up your Friday salam."
Hmm.
Why is that?
Well, so Friday is actually sort of like Sundays is the equivalent of like Sundays for Christians, essentially. So
Okay.
Fridays are like usually the end of the week and the day for prayer. Like, I mean, technically you're supposed to pray every day,
Mm-hmm.
but Friday prayers have a special value.
Okay.
So it's kind of like going to church on Sunday. You would go and try to pray in the mosque on Friday.
Okay. So Friday is
Um,
like the Sabbath day in Islam.
yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Kind of.
basically.
I know, dude.
So it like for even in usually in like Middle Eastern countries, Friday. So Sunday is the day the week starts,
Mm-hmm.
and Friday Saturday is like the weekend.
Okay.
With like Friday being the day that everyone just has off, and then some people work on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
So they just got their facts completely wrong in that original version of Aladdin.
or they just didn't care to check. I don't know.
Mm. Or that's
Um,
probably more accurate.
I mean, like there's one thing to be to not check at all,
Mm-hmm.
in which case you're just sort of blissfully ignorant, and there's the other to like know and then still not take into consideration,
Mm-hmm.
which is also possible, but I guess one of the things is less bad, I guess,
Right.
or is more excusable, I suppose.
Yeah.
um
It's an Abrahamic religion, so of course they worship on Sundays. Right? Right?
sure.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the new movie still doesn't look like garbage.
I mean,
Oh my god! I watched the
did you watch it?
no, but somebody put the One Jump Ahead song sequence on YouTube,
Oh, okay.
and I watched that, and holy god, was it bad! Like they completely missed the joke of the whole musical sequence, which is that a whole crap ton of guards are going after Aladdin for a slice of bread.
Oh my god.
And in the new movie, it's just three guys running after him.
Of course, of course.
Oh god, it looks so bad. It looks so bad. Anyway, welcome to Hell in a Cell.
Was that part of Hell in a Cell?
Why not? It's interesting.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good to know.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay,
Alright.
good. Good. Welcome to Hell in a Cell, where we don't talk about Disney remakes. We talk about animated TV shows, often
Yep.
called cartoons, by smart people. I am James. That's Mariya.
Hey.
Exactly. And we talk about cartoons in too much detail because
We can.
there you go. Yeah, we can.
Someone gave us a mic and we can.
I'm the one that gave you the mic.
I know. Big mistake.
Big mistake, yes.
Hey, look, the first one wasn't my fault, all right?
No,
It was a defective piece.
it was a defective piece of crap. Anyway, we watched the She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Season 1, Episode 5, The Sea Gate, Original release date, November 13th, 2018, along with every other goddamn episode of the show, because it's on Netflix.
I mean, except for the newer seasons, I suppose.
Except for, well, yeah, but they all have the same release date, too.
Ugh.
So I don't even know why I'm bothering. This one was directed by Jen Bennett, written by Sonia Warfield, and storyboarded by Polly Mariya, help.
Hold on.
Polly
Guo.
Guo?
Guo.
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 Guo. Okay. Polly Guo and Mickey Quinn. Got through that.
Good job, James.
We got through that. Yeah. Mariya, you want to give us a summary of what happened?
Yeah, sure. So this is, I think, is this like right after that big war that happened, right?
There was a war?
Or was it before that? When I forget. I haven't seen the first season in so long. But this is essentially Glimmer is trying to get all of the princesses together to form an alliance that was there in a while ago when the Horde first attacked and then disintegrated because everyone wanted to focus on their cities because everyone was dying, essentially. And so Glimmer wants to bring back the princesses alliance and convinces her mother to go on a diplomatic mission to what was the place, James? I forgot.
Sea place by the sea.
Serenia. That's what it was.
Okay, good. So I'm glad you remembered.
And they basically have to hire a captain. They have to get a boat and a captain to get them there. And they go to this sort of pub bar place where sea people are supposed to be, supposedly, and find a very musical sea captain whose name is Seahawk.
I was going to say eccentric.
I mean, he was eccentric, yes. Very eccentric. Who is known for setting his ships on fire. And basically, She-Ra challenges him to an arm wrestling contest, and if she wins, he has to take them to Serenia. And so She-Ra wins, obviously. And Adora wins, but same person. And they go on sea, and Seahawk realizes that everyone actually knows what they're doing, and is kind of just there. But he guides them to a sort of a ship graveyard where there's a giant sea monster, and is basically trying to cause an adventure, I guess. And then Adora kills the sea serpent, and Glimmer is frustrated because she wants this alliance to be successful. So they get to Serenia, and they see that the place is severely understaffed, and their guard is also a butler. And they find out that the wall, the gate that keeps Serenia safe is failing, and that's why everyone has sort of fled. And so Adora and Glimmer promise Mermista that they can fix the gate. And if they fix the gate, then she would consider joining the alliance, essentially. On the other side, Shadow Weaver sends Catra to go find Adora against the wishes of Hordak. That's what his name was. Yes, Hordak. Mm-hmm. And basically, Shadow Weaver puts Scorpia in charge of Catra so that she actually does her job. Who is amazing, by the way. She's great. And they attack basically as Shira is trying to restore the wall. There's a moment between Glimmer and Seahawk, and then they set his ship on fire and crash it into the Horde ship and save the people of Serendia. Yay!
Yay! All right. Let's get negatives out of the way first.
Okay.
Because I don't think the list will be very long.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any negatives, Mariya?
The voice acting for Mermista was like, it was really good when they first met, and then in the middle, it kind of got a little rough. It was a little rough over there.
A little flat.
Yeah, just a little bit. But then it gets better as it goes on. It was a little rough in the start. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, I don't think I noticed anything bad or like clumsy in terms of animation. I was entertained.
You were entertained. That's not a high bar, though.
It really isn't.
So, is that a compliment, really?
Yes, technically.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, what negatives do you have?
Okay. I did notice that they were a little off model a few times during the episode, which is not like as big of a deal breaker as a lot of people like to make it out to be.
Right.
When Steven Universe was coming out, and Steven Universe has a very it's got a pretty free-form style when it comes to its modeling and keeping on model, and it likes to break that a lot,
right,
which I think works for that show because it's evoking a certain sort of like the runny egg style we talked about.
Right
Kinda there, but this is more of a how would you put it, like more of a traditional animated show.
Yeah, it's a traditional sort of animated show, but it has more twists in the way that the characters are made, in the way that the characters are designed, almost.
Right. I mean, they're not that complicated in terms of...
No, I mean more in terms of like dimension of the character rather than like the character's visual design.
Right. No, they have really good designs. Yeah, I just noticed that a few of them were a little off model in some of the shots. It was, like I said, not a big deal. It was only on for like less than a second, so
Right.
Who gives a crap? But
no one really.
That's the negative I saw. Otherwise, the animation's pretty fluid. I wouldn't say fluid. It's kind of a there's not a lot of fluidity in how people move. It's kind of herky-jerky. But
a little bit, yeah. But it doesn't distract you.
No,
no. Like, it doesn't impede with the flow.
No, not at all.
Even if it is a little sort of wonky.
I wouldn't say wonky, just more stiff.
Right.
You're not seeing them... I guess you're seeing less squashing and stretching in this show, which I think works for the style they're going for.
Right.
Personally, I'd prefer more squash and stretch rather than kind of the stiffer sort of direct style that they're going for in She-Ra. But minor nitpicks, this just minor stuff.
I feel like it gets better in the second season, though.
I mean, we could talk. Hold on, really quick. Another negative. Second season. What was up with that? What was up with that?
So,
no spoilers, but spoilers.
It's probably like, again, it's probably like a sort of like a midway season. So kind of setting up for the next season.
Yeah, I thought we were done with that though in the like early 2000s. But
I mean,
fine.
it doesn't, like, it definitely has me waiting for the next season to come out. Like, I want to watch the next season now.
That's the problem though. Is that I want the next season, but it's not out. It
was a good season. It was good.
It kind of felt like they were throwing some of their weaker stories out there though. Like a lot of the filler stories they were trying to get through.
Right. I mean, I'm not against that.
No. I mean,
because like the show does follow sort of an episodic thing, even though there's like a larger plot happening.
Right. Which I appreciate.
Don't mind. Yeah. So I don't mind like the small little episodes where it's very like, not disconnected, but like unrelated to the meta plot that's happening.
Right.
Like the one about Bo and his like family. Mm-hmm. No spoilers. And what was another one? Pretty sure.
Oh, the D&D game.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh, that was hilarious. I love that. That was a fun episode. So it's just like unrelated, but also kind of related, you know?
Yeah.
They kind of, I guess those episodes are important because if you want your audience to invest in characters other than the main characters, then you want to explore those characters. And the only way to do that is to have these sort of anecdotal episodes where you instead of focusing on the main plot where the main characters are doing stuff, you focus on some of these side characters that add flavor to the show, and you are now more invested in their existence essentially.
Yeah. Which I think is a weakness of a lot of shows coming out now that have a big overarching plot, is they don't have the time to take for those smaller moments.
I think that they should make time for those.
Yes.
Like if you want people to be invested, like there are people like me who are invested in characters even if I just see them like a couple times an episode. I will, if they're good, I'll fall in love with them. There are people who need more than just their appearance in an episode to be invested in this. Telling me a little more about their family, telling me a little more about their past. Why do they do this particular thing in this particular way, you know? Mm-hmm. It builds engagement. It builds audience engagement, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, back to the episode.
Yep.
Actually, one more thing. One more weakness of She-Ra. And I think it's the big one. Mm-hmm. And it's fitting that we watched this show in this month.
Yes.
Because it's once again there's a thing hanging over this show that's on Netflix, and it's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Of course there is.
'Cause it's kind of just Avatar. Only,
I mean, do you really think? I didn't associate a lot of it to. I mean, kind of, I guess. I suppose the overarching plot is the same.
The overarching plot and many of She-Ra, specifically her character beats, are very similar to Aang's in certain ways. I mean, they differ a lot, but
like, isn't that kind of like a stereotypical like hero arc in terms of plots? There's only so many twists and turns you can have for a hero arc. Like it is a main hero arc. Most hero arcs go in this certain pattern where it's like, I get power. I need to do thing with power. I don't know how to use power. Yeah, exactly. Must learn power. Must fight bad guy. Must fail, must learn power more.
Yeah,
Must fight bad guy again.
Exactly. I think it's only a weakness of the first season. The second season does a lot to differentiate it from that. But I think the first season really does kind of follow a lot of the beats of at least the first book of Avatar a bit.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. These are little nitpicks, but just when I was watching She-Ra the first time, I was just like, isn't this just like Avatar? And I guess that's not a problem. Because,
I mean, it's like it's a hero arc, right? It's a very stereotypical hero arc.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
when you're
there's
establishing
more.
And when you're establishing a hero for a show, there isn't much that you can do to shake that arc, right?
Oh yeah.
Unless you're going for like a redemption arc or something like that, which I was hoping to get for Catra because I loved her in the first season. And I was like, no, she's just a bad guy. She's just bad. It's fine.
What
I feel so bad for her.
What are you talking about?
I wanted
development in the. What are you talking about?
I wanted more.
You're just gonna have to wait, Mariya.
I
just
know.
gonna have to wait. I want the redemption too, but you're just gonna have to wait.
Well, yeah, like this was me in the first season when it was just the first season. I was like, "Holy, wait a minute, what? Where's the redemption arc?"
Oh my god! It's
Hold
the
on.
first season.
I mean,
Zuko took 3 books to redeem himself.
I know, right? Zuko, damn it, Zuko.
I mean, I guess it took like to the end of book 1 for him to do something good. Book 2 was all about him like figuring out and trying ping-ponging around good, evil, and then the third one, then okay, I'm good now. And now I'm going to be Aang's firebending teacher, which is just still one of the best bits in, setup and payoff in all of.
I love that. That was great. But anyway, back to She-Ra.
Yeah, right. Back to She-Ra. Anyway, that's my nitpicks. That's it. It's all
that's
done
now.
Nitpicks.
That's
my nitpicks.
Okay. Well, what do you love?
Everything. Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is probably the biggest thing I love about it. This show is so goddamn gay.
It's great.
It's great.
I love it.
It is a breath of fresh air.
It's so unapologetically that way too. Because usually when there's glitter and color and like glamour and stuff like that involved, the show gets incredibly sidelined.
What do you mean?
In the sense that it gets boxed as a show for little kids, right? Little girls.
Okay.
Little girl show.
Right.
Like think of anything. It's a
Mariya,
little girl show.
Let's just make My Little Pony is books.
Yeah, I know that is a perversion, but generally when a show involves those aspects, it is sidelined to a very small chunk of the audience and then kept there, right? Like
it's a rare show that's made specifically for girls that can break through that box, I think.
Exactly.
Probably the biggest influence on this is Sailor Moon, which also does that.
Right. And that's what I really like about the show. Like it's great because it's not it hasn't been, at least as far as I've seen, it hasn't been sidelined like that. And it's very unapologetically what it is. This is the brand that we're going for. Nothing is changing.
We're not trying to appeal to a mass audience with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Our main appeal is to girls. But our show is well written enough that it appeals to pretty much anybody who wants to watch it.
Exactly.
Without compromising what it is to chase a demographic, basically.
Right. Yeah, like it's built for a certain audience, but it doesn't sideline everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Or it doesn't alienate everyone else. It doesn't like it's unapologetic, but it's not like jarring.
Right. It's not
Um
a big man show with big muscle men who are all muscle men, and the one girl is there.
yeah, she's just there.
This show is like, no, everybody is included. Everybody's equal in what they do. They do it differently,
Right.
nobody is better than anybody else except for She-Ra, who's an 8-foot monster. But you know what?
But
She's the main character. What are you gonna do?
yeah, what do you do?
But it's not
monster.
excluding anybody.
It's really weird though, because like they say she's 8 foot, but the scaling is so bizarre. Like it never feels like she's towering over any of the other characters.
No, and yeah, I don't know what they're going with that. I mean, I don't think she's actually 8 feet tall. I think that might just be an exaggeration.
Yeah, maybe it's just an exaggeration. Like definitely she looks taller. So like when she
Yeah.
transforms into She-Ra, she's taller than Mermista.
Oh,
but
that's
like
the
when she's
big- that's the other
Adora,
thing.
she's shorter than Mermista.
That's the other
Um,
thing I forgot to mention in my critique, Mariya,
Yes.
is that She-Ra is no longer sexy. How am I going to connect to this show if the girl isn't sexy in a kid's show?
What?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
There was a thing about this? Hold on.
Oh, yeah, there was some controversy. Ooh, strap yourself in.
Okay.
Like really tight, because you're gonna be biting your face off once I'm done with this. Okay, a bunch of quote unquote bro dudes, which I mean neckbeard incels. I don't care if I'm offending anybody with that.
It's fine.
Anyway, a bunch of neckbeard incels were criticizing the show because She-Ra is no longer sexy compared to her 1980s design, which is the height of sex appeal, I guess.
I mean, every female superhero in that time was made to be sexy, because otherwise how are you supposed to sell a female hero to a male audience? Like, even in that perspective, they were selling it to a male audience. It wasn't for the females. That's why it was sexy. This is for the females. Hence, it's not sexy. It's not about you, bro, dude. It's about that girl over there.
Yeah, they don't understand that. And I don't know why. I've given up on trying to understand. It's just
mean,
fine. Fuck you. Go away.
It's a yeah, no, this is normal.
This is not normal.
It shouldn't
This is
be.
not normal. I mean, it's okay. It is normal, but it shouldn't be normal.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a stand and saying that it's not normal.
Okay. Fair.
And I'm just like, what? The entitlement on display.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
I said the E word. I know I'm offending a lot of people.
It is a sort of entitlement, though, right? Like the idea that all media products is made for man, right? Like the idea that if it's not sexy, it doesn't appeal to me. Well, it's not about you. It's not made to appeal to you for once. Everything you have everything. If you want sex appeal, go watch one of the Transformers movies, okay?
They have everything they could ever want, but they want more. And
just let us have this, man.
I know. I mean, look, here is the big thing that people who rail against the neckbeards. That's the big thing is we're fucking tired of the same old garbage. The culture that has targeted everything at men has created some of the lamest, dumbest, lowest common denominator bullshit that has ever been printed on film, books, and everything else. And we are fucking sick of it. And having something like this, it's a drop in the bucket, but god damn it, that bucket is filling up slowly. And we're getting different things from different people whose perspective is not, I am going to shit myself if I see anybody whose skin color is darker than pale as the moon. And another thing, I am so sick and tired of heterosexual relationships. They're so boring. They're so goddamn boring.
I am so glad that Shira only has like undertones, but there's no like explicit canon relationships. I mean, except for Mermist and Seahawk, but they're kind of like push and pull.
Right.
But like there isn't very like explicit in your face romantic plots, right?
I mean, it's a kid's show.
Yeah, but even kids' show have romantic plots. Like, I'm glad that
that's
this
true.
One doesn't.
Like, what am I saying?
Kids' shows have romantic plots too, and they are always promoting a like heterosexual narrative, right? Like, it's always.
Right. I just got through saying that, and then I said that, and now I feel stupid.
It's okay. Sometimes it happens. I mean,
yeah.
Like it always is, right? Like you learn what media, like you learn about society from the media that you grow up in, right? And if you grow up watching shows with mandatory subplots, then you grow up thinking, oh, relationships are the only thing to strive for, right? Yeah. Or that being alone is bad, right? Stuff like that. Like it plays into the idea that, you know, you have to be in a relationship at some point in your life. And I mean, to be fair, humans are supposed to, but it's not wrong to not. Similarly, if all a child sees is like heterosexual, even if there are romantic plots, if it's always heterosexual, then what kids grow up seeing, these are the kind of people that grow up and be very confused when they hear about gay marriages and stuff, right?
Right.
Like confused at best. At worst, they will be well,
you know, I'm gonna push back against that, Mariya, because we're living in the information age. It's easier than ever before for somebody to find out about the spectrum of love and relationships and sexuality than ever before.
Yeah, but
right,
when has that led to a society of well-educated people? Like, the information has become more and more accessible over a long period of time. It hasn't changed the fact that there are still people out there that don't know about certain parts and certain things. Like, I don't know everything. And sometimes you don't know where to start if you haven't come in contact with it, right? So if a child sees like a homosexual couple on TV, whether or not they understand what it is, at least they've seen it, and now they have like a point of reference to look at, right? Or to start looking for information. So if I don't come in contact with something, I don't know what to look for, right? When I was in India, I was never in contact with any kind of homosexual interaction at all, ever. For like 15 years of my life, I was not in contact with anything like that, of any of the gender spectrum or LGBTQ spectrum, right? So when I first came here, I tried my best to sort of figure out what was going on, me being me and also very curious. I read about it, learned about it, rather than immediately rejecting it, which there would be people who would, right? Like, there always are.
Yes.
But anyway, back to the show.
Back to the show.
Let's play a little game. Every time I say or James say back to the show, take a shot.
Sure. Says the two people who don't drink.
Don't drink. Yep.
Oh, spoiler alert. Me and Mariya don't drink.
Yeah, we don't drink. I mean, yeah, me and James don't drink. But
what
back
were
to
you
the...
gonna say, though?
What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say?
You were floundering there.
Was I?
Yeah.
About?
The drinking.
What about the drinking?
I'm curious.
Oh, well, I don't drink. James doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were gonna, if it was a thing in your future. Not that I care or anything. I'm just curious.
I mean, I don't, like, I come from a family where everyone was, like, stone sober, like, stone cold sober family.
I came from the opposite.
That usually is what happens. And yeah, I mean, I've been in contact with alcohol, like I've drank wine and stuff, but I don't.
Wine doesn't count.
Yeah,
it
like
does,
I don't go to like parties and bars and stuff. And
that's just because you're antisocial, Mariya.
I am not good, sir. I'm just lazy.
Isn't that the same thing?
No.
Really, when you get right down to it.
No, because it's a matter of intent.
It's a matter of intent. All right.
I want to go hang out with people. I'm too lazy to. Versus I'm lazy and I don't want to go out and hang out with people.
If it was societally acceptable for you to go out in your pajamas, would you hang out with more people?
No. Maybe. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I have to change clothes and leave. I'm lazy just to like get out. But when I'm out, I enjoy it. It's weird. Anyway, back to the show. Let's talk about something that James wanted to actually talk about related to the animation.
Shit, I forgot. I'm swearing a lot in this episode.
Focus.
Mariya, what's a rack focus? Because I'm not really I don't really understand it.
Well, it's kind of like when you shift the focus from one object to another.
Okay, how do you do that on a camera?
On a camera, you turn the focus ring, basically.
Okay.
That way, depending on what distance an object is in, the focus would change, essentially. So if something was far away, if there was one thing that was far away and one thing that was close, you could shift the focus onto something that's far and something that's close. You do that with your own eyes, too. If you have your hands really close to your face, you can focus on stuff that's far away and then on your hands. And, the respective thing that is not being focused on becomes blurry, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, that's what it is. It's really interesting because you use it a lot in you use it a lot when you want to compose like an image. So you want to keep something in focus, but you also want other things that play into your image to be there. Mm-hmm. So they're there, but they're not important, but they add to the environment essentially. Mm-hmm. And like in movies, they use it to change focus on different characters, or it kind of forces the audience to focus on what the camera wants you to focus on.
Yeah, I love me a good rack focus.
Yeah. Sometimes they use it very subtly to like hint things that is not being said by any of the characters, but camera wants you to pay attention to these details, stuff like that. It's great. It's a great visual tool.
The best thing is when somebody is actually doing something outside of the rack focus and you can just barely see them.
Yeah, you're just like, they're there, but they're kind of not. Like,
but they're doing something important. And it's like, what are they doing? And you have to like go back and see.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Or like when they're there in the background and then there's like a payoff, but you didn't even realize that there was going to be a payoff for it. So like if someone's stalking another character,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's the front focus and you can see them in the background or blurred, and then later, this person gets attacked and you're like, oh wait, he's wearing the same clothes as that weird blurry person in that one scene, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like an interesting payoff for people who pay attention to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
But
cool.
here's the thing: is that animation doesn't really use rack focus, zooms, stuff like that.
I suppose it would be a lot easier with like digital programs than like cell animation, right?
Yeah, with cell animation, you actually have to blur the cell, and
exactly,
and then you have to physically enter the different focuses, and that's just a lot of work when you can just have them both there on screen. So traditional animation eschews a lot of the techniques of cinematography that have been used a lot, like rack focus, like zooms, because if you zoom too close into the picture, you see too much detail in it.
And, stuff like shaky cam too.
Yeah, shaky cam, that doesn't really work with cell animation unless you're really, really deliberate about it.
I mean, like they tried to do that with Scooby Doo. Remember, with the weird van front angle. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty bad. Unless you got to be really good at it in order to get the traditional shaky cam to look anything that except hilarious.
I mean, I guess if you want to add to the comedy of how terrible it is.
But I'm tish. But so that's why it was kind of shocking to see a rack focus in this episode. And it was very nice.
Was very, very well done. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it was a simple rack. One character is doing a thing, another character enters the scene, rack focus to them. That's all it was.
But it's nice to see it in animation. I don't think we've seen it.
Really. I mean, except in Spider-Verse, but.
Well, yeah, but Spider-Verse is like also very, very recent. So.
Yeah, well, so is this, but still.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but in a TV show, you're using something like a rack focus outside of live action. It's just kind of nah. And I guess I'd have to go back and look and see if that's changed, but I don't think so. Even though it'd be pretty easy to do.
A rack focus?
Yeah.
With cell or in digital?
No, with digital.
Well, yeah, you just have to like blur one layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you would layer on a bunch of stuff. It's a lot easier to do that on digital. You can just blur that one layer a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to see a lot more of these shows doing traditional cinematography.
Right.
Stuff. The tools are there to where you can play around a lot more with angles. Well, I guess you can always play around with angles, but you play around with different uses of a camera.
Right.
That are there. Like, maybe somehow incorporate bloom into, or, the light. What's that called?
Glare.
Yeah, glare into it. I think that would probably help a lot. Like, that would accentuate a lot of the lighting and colors in some shows.
Right. Oh, a good glare is really, really nice.
Not a J.J. Abrams glare, though.
Like a good glare, not
a good glare.
Yeah. And I mean, and like speaking of color, since it's a digital thing, the colors are so vibrant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're so smartly used in the show. Like every area has its palette, and it does a good job of setting a mood. Because the moment you're in like the horde, all the color palette is like green and gray and dark blue and red and all these like evil colors. And it immediately sets a more sinister mood to the area. And then as soon as you get back to whatever kingdom, I forget what it's called.
The kingdom of sparkles and glitter and farting.
Yeah, as soon as you get there, like it's all bright and shiny and like glossy and glittery and just sparkly everywhere, and it sort of sets a different kind of mood. And then when you're in like Mermista's kingdom, everything's like blues and greens and sort of sea like with like statues, and the backgrounds are so gorgeous, James.
Yes, they were pretty nice.
The
I
gate
wish
design was very nice.
Yes, the gate looked really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they had a more diverse color palette with the character designs. But I'm biased because I like when the characters are all cordoned off by color.
Ah, I see.
You know.
I mean, I guess but they are kind of following more of like a rainbow palette thing.
Oh yeah,
right?
I guess they are, you know.
So they have to kind of be a little bit close in like color palette so that the transition is easy.
Right.
Because they're going for like the rainbow thing anyway.
Yeah, they do that, don't they?
Yeah.
Like I said, this show is gay.
I mean, they have like a talking horse. Can you like a talking unicorn?
Not a talking unicorn with wings. Right?
Yes, it's like a unicorn with wings, so it's like a pegacorn or something.
Who's really into the resistance.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's all about the animal rights.
That horse is Antifa.
I mean, yeah, no, because like, I mean, imagine someone
getting all political in this episode.
Yeah, imagine like some like deep, like extreme conservative person like sitting them down and having them watch the show. They would freaking die. They would have a seizure.
I think
just explode.
Yeah, I mean, most normal people would probably enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. I think most normal people would really enjoy it.
Or at least be like, my kid would really like that.
Yeah. It's definitely Charles made for kids.
Oh, yeah. I know Charles' son really liked it. So
that's great. Yeah. Like, I know kids would enjoy it. I'm glad that there's like different colored people too. You know, not like all white people.
They're not all white people. I mean, the main character is a white people.
Yeah, she's white, blue eyes. But look.
Yeah, look, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they're going for She-Ra, I suppose. Like, you gotta take your wins when you get them.
I guess. Then again, they turned April O'Neil from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles black. Who is a traditionally white character. Wait, was she black in the comics? I don't think so. I'd have to look that up. I haven't really read the Schuster and Shield comics. But anyway, she might have been black in that. I can't. No, she was white in that. No, Baxter Stockman was black. But they turned him white in the 1987 series because he was kind of a subservient figure to the Shredder, and they were worried that it would look bad.
Ah, I see.
But then in subsequent series, he is black.
Ah, okay. Don't know who this is, but cool.
This is a little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trivia for you.
So, how'd you rate the show, James?
Oh, I love it. It's great. More.
Give me more.
Give me more. That's all I ask for. Is that I wish there was more She-Ra.
Yeah, the show's on Netflix. Go watch it. Watch it with your kids. Watch it by yourself.
Just watch it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Maybe Netflix won't cancel it after 3 seasons.
Oh my god. No, it was great. I give it 4 fingers, James.
Yep, same. This episode was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Good.
Which we didn't talk about much of the humor, but it was very good.
Yeah, it was very good. It had some great, absurdist jokes with some subversions with Seahawk being just a complete idiot.
Yep.
And then just some random humor thrown in there for really good effect.
Yeah, when he hits the boat with the bottle. Like the timing was amazing on that.
Perfect. Excellent timing.
Perfect timing.
All the timings on the jokes were all really good.
They're very good. Yeah. The writing is great. The show.
Writing is very good. Yes.
Especially this episode because Seahawk is this. Like I like Seahawk. He's one of my favorite characters. Like one of my favorite side characters. Him and Scorpia.
She is my favorite character. I think
she is. Yeah, she is legitimately my favorite character. She is a mood.
Her and Katra, I think, are my favorite characters on the show. I think I
enjoy Katra. I loved, like in the first season, their sort of push and pull thing that was happening between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then because like there was still a chance that she could get Adora back, and then her finally realizing that no, that ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of her insecurities and stuff. It was really good. It was good. The second season does a good job of like adding dimension to Katra rather than just being this catty bad guy after the good guy, right?
She doesn't pull in a Zula and just doubles down.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a knock against Azula, by the way.
It's
just the most. That's the best comparison I could have. Man,
yeah. She has a little more of like a. I mean, not anyone from Avatar, I guess. Her arc is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because she goes for the full like anti-arc.
Yeah, she goes through the full anti-arc.
Yeah, she's like in the full arc. Like she's gotten like burned several times, right, over the course of the second season. So she's gone like full anti-arc. Like she could totally go complete dark side.
Right.
But
read the Avatar comic.
Yeah, and I mean, because even with like Entrapta being suddenly more important than she is, like the whole spoiler alert, the whole like her going deeper into the dark side is a completely possible way for her to go, but I hope she doesn't because I like her. She's great. Scorpia is amazing. There's a scene in the second season where she's like fumbling through files, and that's just me, like on a personal level, is me. Because she's just fumbling through files, and she has like claw hands, so she can barely hold anything. It's great. Love her.
Mariya, you're a disaster.
Am I?
I don't know. That's how you always describe yourself. So yeah.
I mean, cause that's just it. That's reality. It's reality of my life.
Yeah.
It's chaos. Chaos exemplified is what it is. Anyway, what are we watching next week, James?
Well, first off, we got our movie.
Yep, we're watching Shrek.
Oh God. Okay, next month is Anime August. May God have mercy on us all.
Jeez, it's August already? What?
Yup. Oh God, I want to die. Oh God, Mariya, remember Anime April?
Yep.
Remember how long those episodes were?
I do.
Remember how long it took to edit them?
No, that was your job.
Oh yeah. Maybe we could cut down on that a little.
We should do that, yeah.
In the next August. But yeah, it's Anime August. Oh God, kill me. And we're watching a premiere, or a series that is premiering in the summer.
Which one?
And that is Dr. Stone.
Ooh.
A mysterious light envelops the earth, turning everybody into stone. And about, 30,000 years in the future? Or 3 million years into the 30, something like that.
Something about threes.
Yeah, like I think it's 30,000 years in the future. A young boy awakens from his stone prison, and he has to rebuild his civilization in a stone world.
That is terrifying, but sounds really cool.
It is. I'm hoping the anime is good because I read the manga. It is really good.
So what you're saying is that you want the anime to live up to the manga's expectations?
Yes, because okay, wait, do I just want to get through it? Fun fact, the author of the manga, Inagaki, had another anime for one of his series, and it was terrible. So I kind of want it to be good just for him.
No.
Just so he could have, like, somebody actually adapt his series properly.
Well, I'm sure it'll be great. We'll find out.
We'll find out. That's it.
So will you, I guess, if you decide to join us.
Yeah. Please. We love you. All right, give him the spiel.
Okay. If you would like to support us some more, you could, if you're watching on YouTube, you could give us a like or leave a comment. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a review, and you can even download our podcast from our website, which is chaoticsilly.squarespace.com. And you could leave us a like there, share our stuff so that other people can see too. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you could give us $1, and for $1 a month, you get our Movie Night in Hell podcast, where me and James talk about animated movies instead of animated TV shows. And for this month, all Patreon stuff is for free because it's Christmas in July. Yay!
Shrek.
Yep. Stay tuned for
me.
Shrek.
Kill me. Just kill me now. This was all a mistake.
Ogres have layers, James. See you guys next time.
Maybe. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Where'd you get that mistletoe in July?
And we're giving away a bunch of gifts to you, the audience.
As a sign of our appreciation and need for constant validation.
So head on over to our Patreon page.
Because every Monday in July, we're going to be posting exclusive content.
For free!
What are we giving away this week, Mariya?
This week, we're watching Shrek for our Patreon exclusive podcast, Movie Night in Hell.
If you want to get a taste of what our animated movie podcast is like, head on over to the Patreon.
We'll see you over at patreon.com/chaoticsilly.
So go check it out right now.
For free!
I'm going to take this Santa suit off now, Mariya. It's so freaking hot.
Why are you wearing a Santa suit for an audio-only podcast?
I commit, damn it. Now help me get the beard off.
Merry Christmas in July.